Okay, this is getting a little difficult. All right. It's a little loud. Remsel is a different kind of school. It teaches kids traits other schools just can't. It teaches us character, to discover and formulate values, and to strive in uncomfortable environments. One thing Remsel has taught me more prominently than anything else is the importance of working with others. This goes as far back as I can remember, including my first month of kindergarten. Remsel, from the get-go, is unlike any school. So you can imagine my reaction and my parents' reaction when the school informed us I'd be leaving for a camping trip overnight in the first 2 months of school. My parents and my reactions were quite different. Me, not wanting to leave home, and my parents, well, they wanted me to leave home. Can you picture a group of kids, about yay high maybe, taken by random strangers to camp in the woods? Well, that's what Remsel does. Mind you, many of these kids have never gone camping before. Can you imagine the pressure that was on me? But how does this fit into teamwork? When you go camping, you usually have to use a tent. And tents don't just appear, they're constructed. So as little 5-year-olds, Remsel expected us to set up tents with our tiny hands and classmates. This was tricky. It was a situation to be put into as a kid. How was I supposed to work with others to create this giant contraption that's as tall as 3 of me stacked together and then proceed to stay 2 nights on the ground in it? How were my little dainty hands going to press in a steak? And how were we physically going to reach above 5 feet tall? Well, I'll tell you how. Through teamwork. Whoa, right? Teamwork. Never heard that word before. But in all seriousness, the only reason we could, as a collective, set up a giant tent was by working together. A skill that is so widely known, yet so oversaturated and forgotten. Yet, without all those kindergartners' hands, we would have never been able to set up that tent. Now, why is that? Hi, my name is Tobias Schechter, and for my SLE, I interned at a public architecture firm generating and designing 3D models for public buildings. As I attended the architecture firm, AMD Architects, I didn't just retain information about 3D modeling, designing buildings, problem-solving processes, etc. I learned about people's social and physical values and the levels of teamwork that take place in a work environment. In a place of business, there are standards one must follow. Keeping your workload well-balanced, getting stuff done on time, and integral time management. Still, the one standard that made everybody work harder at the firm was teamwork. In a place of business, collaboration provides help to your fellow peers and colleagues, respecting and valuing each other's ideas and opinions. Yet, like everyone in our world, this firm suffered from slackers. It suffered from selfish facilitators and selfish intellectuals who believed their ideas were too good to share with the rest of the group. Or, on the other end, people who don't value their opinions over others and who are open to discussion about something they care about. We thrive as individuals with the right attitudes, but we thrive even more when working with others that share the same positivity. When working together, we can demonstrate and benefit from many secondhand experiences. In architecture, the secondhand experiences of working with others is predominantly implied. For example, working together is a common pathway to innovation. Innovation is obtained through different ideas and perspectives on the project at hand. When one person's opinion is all that demonstrated in a situation, you can only get so far before your mentality is blocked by regurgitated ideas. These ideas could include bending, offsetting, and inserting, which use existing architectural techniques formulated a million times over. Or by using innovation, you can break these layers. You can start coupling, puncturing, reflecting, which makes a piece of architecture much more engaging, yet still applicable to an older modeling type. Another trait gained by teamwork, in an architectural sense, is the ability to take risks, which produce more creativity. When put in a situation by yourself, usually there's nothing to fall back on, no safety rope. What's done is done. But with a group, there are people to fall back on, and there's room to make mistakes. In public architecture, your firm will take place in a design, bid, build process before starting any kind of contract. This competition entails a risk-taking approach by dissecting a company's document/plan, then presenting how your firm will accomplish its every needs, and at the same time, show something more exciting that sticks out with your intended buyer/audience. I'm not saying innovation and risk can't only be accomplished through teamwork, because that's simply just not true. Partnership only enhances the individual's process. It helps one grow to their full potential. But when you work well with others and collaborate in a constructive and positive workspace, you can and will have better overall productive and creative outcomes. Most importantly, you'll have more leniency when taking risks. In an architectural office, or any office for that matter, social implications and demonstrating the ability to work with others allows you to fulfill your more creative side. Examples from my internship include 2 different scenarios. The first one is about me. As an introvert, I keep my distance in social aspects of everyday life. I try not to display any intense emotions when surrounded by people who I'm not familiar with. With my knowledge, retention and productivity were much lower than everyone else's at the beginning of my internship. This dissatisfaction wasn't due to me being a brand new intern. It was because I wasn't generating new ideas and I couldn't create a problem solve in areas I wished to excel in. When coworkers ate lunch together, I noticed that they were more comfortable with their surroundings and felt their opinions were respected. This gave way to more connection and openness to feedback and collaboration. After I saw this collaboration, I was inspired as a person. At one point in my internship, a coworker asked if I'd like to participate in a lunch meeting. The entire focus of this meeting was a struggle of being a young architect, me, in a field so populated by older generations. After this meeting, I realized something. I realized that until I opened myself up, I couldn't retain the necessary information to pursue architecture as a future career. As a person wanting to grow, I gave up on my comfort. And in doing so, I became much more productive as an intern. I adapted to working in a working together mindset. I allowed myself to accept feedback from my superiors, and I could have never learned base level 3D modeling without asking for help, because one can simply not demonstrate full potential when thrown into a situation alone. It all comes back to putting up those tents. You take a group of kids, and the ones that try their best to get to know each other and work together through that constructive yet positive workplace will create a tent worth living in. The ones that slack off or think they can do it themselves will always be a damper on the group. That tent won't get set up, at least not for a while, until that person or that group of people realizes something. That teamwork indeed does make the dream work. Thank you.